Episodes 4 through 6 of Andor, or is it Andor? The debate is still open for that. But I'm here with my good friends Chris and Adrian. My name is Carlos. I wasn't on the first episode, but I'm here now, and we're here to talk about episodes 4 through 6.
What did you think of the first three episodes before we get into the new ones?
The first three, I thought it was a good, introduction. I thought it was definitely dark. It was definitely different from the, I don't know, biker gang, neon motorcycles biker gang we saw from like Obi-Wan. It's definitely dark, bad times, and I think the series reflects that. When the Empire is like full force, right? All the power, right? So people are just out there doing what they need to do to survive, and Andor is not very well part of that. So I think just displaying that, putting that forward is good. And the way they just integrate everything, right? Like he's a scammer and a thief and a liar. He has this kind of twisted past, and his, because we know where he's going to end up, right? His journey towards the rebellion is, I think they're doing it well, where it's not easy. It's not going to be a straight path, and it's going to be very much this moral grayness, which kind of comes with, putting a rebellion together. And I think the first three episodes reflect that very well. And on the other side, right, you got people who are trying to do their jobs to the best of their abilities. We see that with the private security officer. He's just trying to be the best security officer out there, I guess. He's not with it with the political game, but also an idealist on the other side, right? And he messes up, but I want to see. I thought we were going to see more of his bounce back in episodes 4 through 6. Now I'm going to segue to the new episodes, right? I thought we were going to see his bounce back. I thought he was going to get like mad or angry and just be go hunt down Andor by himself kind of thing. That's what I was kind of expecting.
Were you not asking his mom to berate him for three
Yeah.
episodes?
Yeah, but this heist was the main part of it. What you guys think?
Yeah, these three episodes are great. The first two were just kind of like the episodes one and two. It was like set up and like here's all these characters, and we're learning the heist, the plan, how it works. And then episode three was the big heist, like long episode. We have them infiltrating the barracks or whatever to get the credits, and it looked great. And like especially at the end with the eye, just like, oh man, this show looks so good. Like, man, I love watching this show on like a huge TV. It's
And
great.
it doesn't look cheesy.
The execution was well paid off. The build up to episode 6 was just phenomenal. It made you really care about these characters, get to know a little bit more about their backstory. Why they're kind of pushing the good fight. But that last episode, episode 6, oh my God, had me on the edge of my seat. It definitely spiked my anxiety. It was just tense throughout the entire episode. I just never felt like a safe moment. I'm like, what if they get caught? What if things go south? Something's gonna fucked up because you can't perfectly execute the perfect plan. And yeah, it was phenomenal from the eye to seeing the rebels lose a couple of their guys. It was
A
just
couple. They lost like everyone essentially.
okay.
and
I mean,
three pilots.
Yeah.
does ski really count? I'm just saying, does he really count?
We can talk about that later. I have some thoughts.
But yeah, I agree with you, Adrian. I was definitely locked in. I think the build up from 4 and 5 definitely paid off in 6, and I was locked in the whole time. I was also with you with the anxiety. I was like, they're gonna get caught. It's gonna be over. This is it. There's no more. I mean, you have the security that Andor has to come out, alive and well. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, this is just like, it's just a good episode or just a good series to watch.
Also, like
you don't need all the background. It's just a heist. It's a heist show or a heist episode in like a spy show, I guess.
Well, you're heisting my thoughts right now because I want to share something important. Also, like, imperialistic the Empire is, like we don't know that already, but it's just, we see the natives there, we see their customs, we see why the eye is very important to them, and I'm glad that they showed all of that, just because it just shows how encroaching the Empire is to many star systems throughout the galaxy, and how they're trying to strip away any sense of, traditions, customs, that languages that people have. And it's slowly becoming this anonymous being that is the Empire that's ruled by Palpatine.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I think in the third episode, they talk about like how they're going to stop this festival and they have their own like Empire Day festival instead of this, just to like get rid of any resemblance of this religion or this this ceremony, so make it their own. And even they're like, oh yeah, if we're going to turn this into like an airport essentially, and it's like, oh, what if the Aldani show up again? They're like, oh yeah, we need workforce for this. Who's going to build it? So like they're just beating these people down until they have nothing.
That's like mostly how like imperialism really happens. It's just you kind of settle in, you kind of let them be there for a while, and then you slowly start slipping away the rights. And we see that as I think towards like the end of the episode 6, the ISB are like, okay, let's start pulling out the files for regarding the plans of getting back at planets that kind of do us wrong. Y'all remember that scene? Or did you guys sleep through it?
The one where she's like taking some Adderall, space Adderall. She's like, 2 more, then we can go to sleep or whatever. Is that one you're talking about?
It was like the scene where like they just found out that the heist happened, and they were like, and they were just like talking about it in the news, and then there was like an emergency meeting, and they were like, oh, we gotta pull out the plans now just to get back at the plans.
Oh yeah, it's like, give me some ideas what to do for this.
Kind of, yeah, because like they have, I'm pretty sure everybody in that. Yeah, like I said, you start seeing, the slowly stripping of rights away.
And it's funny to see the kind of people trying to advance their careers esque side of the Empire, because it's just like a big, large company, basically, like just a huge company. And but she's just trying to do good at her job.
I mean, I guess it's the same like with Cyril. Like,
yeah,
he wasn't necessarily evil. He just really wanted to do like the best at his job. The only people who survived from the, I guess, this rebel group was Andor, Val, and Cinta. Everyone else died.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I think Cinta's still on the planet too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about Ski a bit.
Skeen?
My favorite character. I think he's up there in the triathlon with Tim, and then a soon-to-be other favorite character of yours, Chris.
Screw Tim. Tim sucks.
Chris loves Tim.
And he spells his name with 2 M's.
Yeah, what a dick.
Chris is a huge Tim stan.
Yeah, but we can go into skiing. Like, Skeen throughout these episodes, he was like questioning Andor's loyalty. He like looking through his stuff, stealing his like the Sky Kyber from him. So like throughout, it was like kind of like him sussing out Andor, seeing if he was actually the person, you know. Betrayed them, maybe?
I wouldn't say he betrayed them. About to betray them?
Yeah.
What if he was like just joking at the end, just like to test, and then Andor just shot him?
He just gets shot. I was just kidding, man. Like Val puts him up to it. It's like, hey, I want you to test on, Andor. And just...
Question: do you guys throughout the episodes were you suspicious of him?
I would say probably when he's telling the story about his brother, what kind of farm he had, he like hesitated a little bit. He's like trees, peppercorn, centuries of them, and it's like, oh, was that like hesitation because he's like it like gave him some feelings about his brother, or like was he just like thinking something on the fly? Which I'm still not sure, like, was that all a lie at the end? Or is this, like, was that what he's, like, saying so he can get Andor on his side to steal the ship at the end?
I definitely think when he kind of brought up that the Manifesto Boys, condition, that was just
Nemec?
definitely a way. Yes.
Yeah.
Nemec. When he brought up Manifesto Boys' condition, that was definitely a ploy for him just to kind of jump ship and just get away from Andor and the rest of the gang. Just like either kill them off or just run away. But I started to have really suspicious feelings for him the minute he talked to Andor outside the doctor's office and was like, hey, like, let's just split ways. You and I can jump on the ship, get away. And I'm like, okay, bro, you're going to shoot me in the back. I know it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, oh, yeah, I'd need you for the fly of the ship, but then after that, you're no use to me kind of thing. Like, if he's going to betray these people, why wouldn't he betray Andor?
That's true. I suspected him earlier because I'm like, this guy's either a dick, like it's like a really big dick where it's like you're just an asshole to everybody, or you have something to hide. Apparently he had something to hide. But again, early days of the rebellion, not everyone's going to be like, we're here for the same reason. People are just going to make their way however they can. I mean, in this situation, Andor's getting paid. He's just a mercenary, right? Maybe a mercenary with morals. Maybe. I don't know.
Mercenaries with feelings, baby.
Yeah, but Skeen was just a straight up, just out for himself.
Yeah, definitely a very tense moment at the very end.
Yeah.
Andor shot first. You heard it here, guys.
And he didn't even offer him an Italian beef or anything like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he's also in a show called The Bear.
So let's go back to Cyril. I like what you brought up, Carlos, about like how you expected him to kind of like jump back, full force, just get a little bit pissed off at Andor, and just kind of get back on his feet, jump in the ranks of the Imperial Army. But he's just at home with his mom. His mom berates him. It's like the opposite of the fucking Italian mom's where it's like, oh, my boy did nothing wrong. It's just like, you did everything wrong, Cyril.
Yeah, over a bowl of space Cocoa Puffs and blue milk.
That's just, man, that's a big L to take. Like, you're just back at your mom's eating cereal.
Yeah, there's a great scene, like I assume it's in the morning where like he's looking outside the window for like the brief glimpse of sunlight his apartment gets, and it's like a second, and then the sunlight's gone from his apartment. Such a good scene.
Hmm.
I also like the shot, like that specific shot, but also I think you see in his room that he has some toys. They look like clones,
Yeah, I assume they're clone
soldiers.
troopers. Yeah.
Yeah, clone troopers. And I think it just goes to show more depth about his character. Like he's grown up to like I think he grew up in Empire times, so he grew up to kind of idolize the clone troopers, the imperialistic army, and all of their ideas. So it goes to show a lot about his character, where he grew up in that, and I don't really see him deflecting towards the rebels at the very end of the series.
Yeah, he seems to
No,
want
what?
order in his life, and
Yeah.
the Empire's the leading order right now. So yeah.
What do we think? What do you guys think his storyline is going to be for the next? What, we have 6 more episodes?
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely make it to season two. I definitely think he'll start working under Deidre. Like them two, just like you said earlier, Carlos, they have the same ideas. Hardworking individuals who want order and security throughout the galaxy. And she'll see potential in him, so they'll start working together to kind of bring down Andor.
And yeah, I agree with you. I definitely see him teaming up with Deidre to take down Andor later on probably this season. But right now, yeah, like it's just like him kind of moping at home while his mom calls the uncle's favor.
It's like, who is this uncle? It's like he's like the Jabba the Hutt of like Coruscant or something.
Apparently. Well, we've all seen episode 7, so we know where it goes.
Yeah, but we still haven't seen who the uncle is.
It's Jabba the Hutt.
What if it's Palpatine the whole time?
That'd be wild.
That would be wild.
What are they doing in this small like apartment in the middle of like a huge housing complex?
Well, it sounded like they were kind of estranged from their family. Will Uncle remember you when he was like talking with her? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to call in the family favor. So like this seems like a big deal that she's doing this now.
Their uncle's like, you get one. Doesn't matter what it is, you just get one.
Just say that the uncle is Palpatine. I'm like, what does the mom have like on Palpatine? They're like, hey, Emperor Palpatine, can you help out my son?
Speaking of like Coruscant stuff, we get to see Luthen in like his, I guess, facade,
Yes.
and like I feel like Rebel Luthen is like the real Luthen, and then the Coruscant like antiques store Luthen is like his disguise, and we see him like when he finally gets to Coruscant, like he like puts on his wig and he puts on a fake smile and stuff. It's like, oh, this is the character I need to play to not get caught by people.
A very good cover up. It's crazy to see his like shift from like old grumpy rebel to just like, yes, check this out. Check this sword out.
I think every rebel has like a face, basically, like a persona they have to put on. I mean, we see it in Andor. We see it in Sidra in the next episode. Mod Mata, Darth Vader himself.
What?
Yeah, in these episodes, like Mon Mothma is just getting like shit on by everyone, like her family, the Luthans, like, I don't want another guy in our team. Like, and then the Senate's like just beating her down.
But yeah, it's definitely sad to see Lad Mata, her political life, her actual personal life, and just like how shitty it is.
But again, beginnings of the rebellions, and somebody's gonna get shit on.
Yeah, like even when I think that's episode 6, where she's at the end of episode 6, she's in the Senate, like helping these people, and no one's paying attention. Things she's proposing.
Heist away like attention, and
let me just re-say that, like, it's because it's just the heist had huge ramifications for the Empire. At this point now, the Empire is kind of exposed a little bit.
Did it though? I don't know if it had that ramifications, because it was only 80 million credits from this one barracks. Like, they still have money from others. Like, sure, this is the biggest thing that's happened so far from the rebellion, but calling it that seems, I don't know, not good.
yeah, well, it's a blow too. Well, not like just financially, but also by reputation. Like, look at how we can bring down the big bad, And if this can happen while the rebellion is sort of isolated across the universe, like, imagine what happens when people actually start getting organized. And, well, we know what happens, because, obviously.
Like I talked earlier about, like, how to be a successful imperialistic nation. You kind of start slowly planting your seeds, slowly start chipping away the rights, and kind of settling in and just kind of let them be. And that does have some impact on the locals. You start, it's a lot of trauma, it's a lot of oppression, but you kind of have to deal with it. And I think it's like a weird traumatic relationship where you kind of like take it. I think this heist kind of shows everybody in the galaxy, okay, like, there are people out there fighting, there are people out there trying to make a difference. Why don't we start destroying shit? Which I feel like, which is what we're going to see in the next couple episodes. We're going to start seeing small little pockets kind of take up arms against the Empire. And obviously the Empire is going to, clap back and just be like, yo.
Yeah, they definitely are. I'm excited to see the Empire clap back, as you say. Excited to see where Andor's like journey takes him. Miro's, the Lieutenant Miro's journey. Because I'm she's doing a great job at her job. So I'm like, oh man, she's gonna figure it out. And finally, just I want to see this uncle and his nephew come back. I want to see him come back because I feel bad for him as a person, but I don't want him to do anything bad. So it's
Yeah, I definitely think Cyril's one of the best characters in the show so far. I just liked how she's just this poor idealistic kid in the same way as Manifesto Boy. But I want to see the uncle. I want an episode dedicated to the uncle. The past 3 episodes, this has been peak like Star Wars for me. Outdone The Mandalorian, in my opinion.
Well, I do agree that these episodes, this show in general, is great. I think The Mandalorian and the other Star Wars shows are doing something different. Like, they're clearly different audiences for these shows. We can have all those things. We can have the animated shows. We can have The Mandalorian. Like, I know people who have never seen Star Wars, and they love The Mandalorian. They watched that show without knowing any other Star Wars and still like love the cameos and stuff. So it definitely shows that show is pretty big impact on the franchise.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, Sam. I think this is doing something different.
No, but I'm excited to see where the rest of the series goes, and I'm glad we're getting more than 6 episodes. For some reason, I just expected like 8. It's gonna be a good time. I can't wait.
Yeah, and they already have season 2 planned out. So season 1, the structure is the first year of Andor, like being in the rebellion and stuff. And season 2 is each 2 episodes, I think, is a year leading up to Rogue One. So it's gonna be like quick in that season.
Interesting. That's gonna be interesting, especially when he like kind of just joins the rebellion. Like that's gonna be, I don't know, because it's kind of hard right now to kind of see him join the rebellion because he's such a drifter. Like doesn't really care about the rebellion that much.
If only he had a manifesto he can read.
If only he had one night in Space Miami to change a man.
Go to the space club. That's funny because there is a club in Miami called like Space Club or something like Club Space or I don't forget what it was called. Stick around for review of episode 7 through 9 or 7 through 10, whatever the next arc is. But yeah, catch us next time for the next Andor arc.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and let us know if it's Andor. We really need a definite answer on this hot debated question.
They say his name in the show multiple times.